Hey, and welcome back to another video. And today is Drake Day at INVICTUS 2955, and there are a lot of ships on offer. But I wanted to talk about the Kraken because I went through my entire video catalog, and even though I've talked about it before in the past, I haven't made a dedicated video going over everything that this ship has to offer. So in this video, I want to do a review of everything that we know about the Kraken so far to kind of help you guys make a decision if this ship is going to be right for you. So let's go over the official launch page for the Kraken, then talk about the sale, and I'll give my final thoughts at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Release the Kraken. Drake's first capital ship is here. You're welcome. We threw out the rule book to redefine private use capital class ships, attack carriers, and the very nature of personal freedom. With comfortable habs for a full crew, mammoth cargo capacity, and enough armament to blow even the most daunting frigate out of the sky, this self-sustained flying fortress is the most ambitious project Drake has ever undertaken, and a testament to the empowerment of the people. Drake is for the people, power to the people. We know people slightly also mean pirates, but hey, the price is right and pirates like a good deal. So right here we have the video. I'm not going to go through and watch that. Power to the people again for private or corporate protection. So militias are also going to really like this ship. We can see here the Dragonfly Bay and the internal hangar. And we have the full layout. So let's go through and take a look at this here. Turrets. 5 manned and 4 remote turrets. That's pretty interesting. Then we have internal hangar. Spacious multi-purpose hangar. Can keep your org topped up, refueled with supplies. We have the landing platforms. 6 versatile landing pads support a varied fleet. So you have 4 small and 2 medium. We have the cargo bay. Okay. Whatever your fleet needs cargo wise, you have 3,792. That's a lot of cargo. Engineering. We know this is going to be very important for the tech coming up with capital ships. Then we have at the back here your Dragonfly Bay, where the ship consists of vast cargo hold and the space for those dragonflies. We can see the specifications here: 10 crew, that 3,792 SU cargo, 270 length, 64 high, and 104 wide. And here are all the photos. I'm going to start at the beginning. So it can land on planets. The Idris can land on planets. The Javelin cannot land on planets, right? So this is going to be, a nice advantage for this ship here. You can see it size-wise compared to a Caterpillar over here. It's a very large ship. Here's a Cutlass leaving that medium landing pad. A pretty good photo of the Dragonfly Bay here. So it's gonna, have 2 sides essentially. So you could have multiple dragonflies in here. A photo of the habs, and this kind of reminds me of the habs on the Corsair, where each crew member has a room with a bunk in it. The doors look very similar to that as well. This whole area around here is very Drake, very utilitarian. Then it looks like we have a photo of the engineering area. So you can see the large engine here. What looks like components. Now we know that the way components are handled is a little bit different from when this ship was initially launched. So the components are going to be behind closed doors, right? And the engineering terminal is probably going to be a little bit different from this as well. And you can see here at CitizenCon 2948. So this was 2018 when this ship was first announced. This looks like more photos of the engineering area. Then we have the cargo. The cargo bay area here looks like it has 2 floors. Now, what we can see here in the middle is kind of like a gantry system. Now, again, the way cargo is now has changed a little bit from this time when this ship first came out. So we have the metrics all sorted out now, and we're using tractor beams for most things. So more than likely, this will have a tractor beam gantry system. We can see that on the Galaxy. In the Galaxy's cargo module, it actually has this tractor beam, and also on the Ironclad. The Ironclad has a tractor beam on top. They're on rails, I believe, that kind of help move the cargo around the cargo bay area. So it may be possible that CIG changes this up a little bit, right? So you might have an elevator that goes down to the ground, and then tractor beams on the roof that, you know, can move it around. I don't know if it's going to be 2 floors like this. It is in this photo, but it's going to be a massive area if they want to, you know, get that SCU target goal. Then we have a pretty cool photo of the bridge here. Looks like you have 2 seats in front, 2 seats in the middle, and then the captain's chair at the back here. Very cool, commanding view. You can see the flight deck. You can see the massive turret at the front. I think a lot of people are going to be very excited to sit in this captain seat right here. And then we have an overview photo. You can see the turret at the front, turret kind of in front of the flight deck. Then the flight deck with those 2 medium landing pads and his 4 small landing pads. Another photo of the flight deck from the bridge. Another photo of the flight deck ships landing on there. So here's a photo of the hangars, right? So this over here looks like the first hangar, and we're looking at the second hangar, and it looks like it has an opening in the middle, so you could go from the first hangar to the second hangar. And again, we're seeing this gantry here now. We know that a lot of repair and different things will use multi-tools and different tractor beams and stuff like that. So I don't think it will have this concept parts just kind of showing how these hangars might work in lore. But I think in reality, you're probably not going to have this. Realistically, you might just have like you know, different multi-tools that you're going to use to repair the ship in this hangar. Now, we do know that the Ironclad Assault has a kind of like tank repair section at the back. I don't know what that's going to entail. Maybe some of that tech will you know, come over to the Kraken so you can repair ships and do different things. Again, that's purely speculation. I don't know, but it would make sense if CIG does make that decision to do that. Again, we have another photo here flying in the fleet. This looks like you know, a bunch of pirates. This, I can see a lot of players being exciting to do, flying in big fleets like this, using the Kraken as the main carrier. Another photo here of more Drake ships. Now, this is a photo, very popular photo of it, I guess, under construction. Lowering down different parts. It looks like an engine. And then the last photo is another picture of it landing. You can see how many landing gear it has. Very similar to the Caterpillar, right? Where you have a lot of landing gears on the side, but it looks like it has these big, beefy landing gears at the front, I guess, to support all that weight with the hangars. So now let's go over and take a look at some of the specifications of this ship and the sale page going on right now. So right here we got the technical specs. We see the length, the height, and the width again. Now, one thing to note is that there is no information about missiles. There's a big difference between other capital ships is that this does not have torpedoes. The Javelin has torpedoes. The Idris has a torpedo module. The Polaris has torpedoes. The Perseus has torpedoes. So it doesn't look like right now the Kraken has any torpedoes or missiles, but it does have a lot of weaponry. We can see here it has 4 turrets with 2 size 6s, 1 turret with 2 size 8s, and 4 turrets with 2 size 5s. So that is a lot of weaponry. So this is the hollow view here. So we can see on the model here where it has those 2 medium pads and those 4 small pads. And you can see on the side here, we have the 2 door opening for the internal hangars. Then we can see the turrets. So this looks like it's going to be the turret, this one up at the front here. So we can kind of see at the front here, it looks like this turret up right on the nose is going to be your turret, that single turret with 2 size 8s. Then this turret right here looks like it's going to be a man turret with 2 size 6s. Then it looks like this turret up at the back here is going to have 2 size 6s as well. Then you have 2 turrets here and 2 turrets here. So those look like they're going to have 2 size 5s. Those 4 turrets with 2 size 5s. I believe those are man turrets, right? So I'm not seeing any more turrets running there. So you have 4, 5, 6, 7 turrets total. So maybe these 4 turrets with 2 size 5, maybe the remote turrets that the ship is supposed to have. And right now, currently, I don't really know anything about PDCs on this ship. I know that CIG has been adding PDCs to all capital ships, so more than likely the Kraken will get some as well. So we'll see what CIG says about the updates to this ship in terms of weaponry and components and that type of thing. But it is good to be able to look at it in the hollow view here and get an idea where things are located at. Yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. All right, so here is the sale page. Right now, the Kraken is going for $1,650. That is a lot of money. Let's look at view offers. So, War Bond is $1,400. That comes with lifetime insurance, and then store credit is $1,650, but that also comes with lifetime insurance, which is a good thing to see. Now, what's kind of interesting about this sale, and you know, is different from the Idris when it went on sale, is that the War Bond being $1,400 is not too different in price from the Idris's War Bond of $1,500. But the store credit price of $1,650 is much less than the Idris's store credit price of $1,900. And I think that really comes down to the fact that the Idris went to straight to flyable. So when the Kraken goes to straight to flyable, it is reasonable to assume that this price will go to $1,500 War Bond respectively, and $1,900 or $1,800, something around that, for store credit. So getting these ships on concepts is a way for people to save money, but there is kind of that element of FOMO with this, right? Because buying ships on concept really gives you the ability to get them at a cheaper price. You always hear people talking about, you know, getting a ship like the Banu Merchantman at $300, right? So that's just one thing that you want to keep in mind. But you know, at the end of the day, again, I always say it with these videos when I talk about ship sales, you do not need to buy this, you know. Yeah, now I want to take kind of a deeper look at the specs for this ship. So let's take a look at that real quick, and then I will give you guys kind of my final thoughts about this ship. So we have 2 capital shield generators, 2 capital coolers, 2 capital power plants, 6 medium computers, which is kind of interesting, and a large radar, right? So in terms of other specifications, we know the size, we know the cargo, you know, those are just some of the components to go over there. I think personally, this capital ship is going to be exciting for a lot of people, right? A lot of players like the idea and the ability to carry ships on your ship. It does make it more versatile. Of course, this is going to have a lot of cargo capacity. So you're going to more likely be using it kind of like the Hull series where you have a lot of cargo. Now, because of the way the cargo compartment is, right? Right now, it kind of seems like it's designed with landing on planets, right? But for these larger cargo capacity ships, something that is closer to the exterior, like on the Ironclad, like on the Hull series ships, where you can kind of, open up a large area and then move the cargo a little bit easier. That might be a good way to interact with the new cargo grids that CIG has shown off that stations will have. But I believe that this might just fit in the extra large hangar, so you can load and offload cargo from those planet side locations. Again, it has landing gear, can land. But again, that's going to be a lot of cargo, a lot of work. You're going to want a group of friends to do that with you if you're cargo hauling with this ship. But that's an option that you can, use to make money. Good money maker. I think there will be a lot of gameplay opportunities for a ship like this. So, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's really gonna, regret having this thing in their fleet. As long as you can afford it. Again, I want to, really drive that one home. This is not, an impulse purchase. I don't recommend this be an impulse purchase. But I think that, one of the most interesting things about this, I would say too, is CIG kind of talked about this, that this ship is going into pre-production, right? This is not full production. It's kind of like a phase before that where CIG kind of figures out everything that they need. This stage is going to be critical for them to see if they need to reconcept anything, redesign anything, and more likely we might get an update before it goes into full production, kind of like the Pioneer. Last year at CitizenCon, CIG gave us the reconcept of the Pioneer, and it did change a lot from the initial concept, but they made it better, right? So it has that internal hangar that allows us to craft ships. It also has crafting modules that allow us to craft other items, components, FPS items. So I think that this ship is more likely going to get better before it comes out. Now, the Idris is a little bit of a different story because it is in Squadron 42, so it was a little bit higher on that priority list, and they've had it, mostly done for a much longer time. So with the Kraken, I think that it's really going to benefit from a lot of the modern features, how they change things around, right? So the Idris, if you go inside, it's kind of a maze to walk around. I think the Kraken is going to benefit from a lot of what they learned from making ships over the years from 2018 to now. So I think the flow and the way that they build a Kraken is going to make a little bit more sense. But I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for the Kraken? Are you going to pull the trigger on it? Are you trying to play the F5 game? I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me in another video today. I really appreciate all your support, staying till the end of this video. It means a lot to me, you guys. And like I always say at the end of these videos, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Salute.